thank you.
Let's go ahead and do this introduction. Welcome back, everybody, to another Hangout and Hobby.
We got Kroot, we got Poxwalkers.
All the Kroot.
It's a Kroot party.
Who would win, one Krooty boy or a Poxwalker?
Poxwalker would turn a Kroot into another Poxwalker. Or maybe the Kroot would eat the Poxwalker and then turn himself into a Poxwalker.
Kroot have one attack each, Nick, and they hit on 3s. Okay, they're strength 4 as well.
That's not bad. That's like what a tactical marine used to be. Yeah, that's legitimate.
Yeah.
Poxwalkers are 2 attacks though, but they hit on 4s. They're strength 3. But they'll make you -1 toughness.
Kroot with T2. Poor Kroot. They want love. But they get a pregame move. How's it going, everybody? I am just going to post in the war room that we are all good to go. And Nick is going to talk about how much he loves Kroot.
I'm going to talk about these easy-to-build Poxwalkers. This is my speed right here. 1 spruce, 6 models, 1 piece on each guy. How's it feel?
You better check the instructions.
Look, seriously, the instructions are closed. I'm not even using the... Oh, where? The arm fell off.
It won't stop Nick from losing pieces, though.
That's no instructions in the world. It's not that. If they invent that, though, let me know. Because, like, I'd buy that. I don't think this is how the arm goes. It has to be. There it is. There it is. He's saying hi to you.
Nah, you don't need to put the arms properly. There's roughly... It's a Poxwalker.
It's a Poxwalker. That's what I'm saying.
Let me just put the chat active real quick. So tell us about this Death Guard.
So we're playing Death Guard at this Texas tournament this weekend. Oh boy, oh boy. I had a lot of last-minute list woes.
How big is this GT going to be?
I think like 60, 70 people.
Yeah, good amount of people. Good amount of people,
yeah. Well, Texas has, for better or worse, they don't have any real restrictions right now. And then I'm just going to be careful. That's the plan.
But you're playing Death Guard.
I'm playing Death Guard. You know, I got the pox. I can't fight the disease. Get down with the sickness. What do we got?
Are lists live yet?
No, maybe. Let me check. They weren't live as of last night, but to be honest, I haven't checked this morning. Do they notify you when they go live?
Sometimes they'll post on a Facebook page or something.
I mean, like, does BCP?
No, BCP doesn't.
Oh, they should do that.
They should do that. Kick Josh on the phone.
Get Josh on the phone. They got a lot of phones.
Bellicor, hope he's as good as I'm the Chaos Undivided guy. What do you think of Bellicor?
Bellicor's got a sweet model. That means he's going to have at least new rules. Hopefully be good. They've been pretty good about making, the really cool models they come out with not suck lately. Like, I've been pretty happy with them. Like, if you look at the GTs and stuff that's happened, as small as they are, back in like 5th, 6th, 7th, it'd be the same 3 or 4 army archetypes over and over and over. Here, it's like a different faction on everything. It's certainly a different list on every table. It's really, really cool to see what's doing well. So I think Bellicor will find his own home somewhere. I hope he better. I can't get this Poxwalker to go in. It's not that easy to build, honestly.
These are easy to build.
They're not that easy.
Might have to move out to Texas, get them GTs in.
Yeah, seriously. Well, hopefully not. We got Poxwalkers.
Who else is going to this tournament, Nick?
Mark is going to go. Sean Naden is going to go. Supposedly Frankie Giampapa and Junior on that sign-up sheet. It'll be an interesting time. This is not, like, for not being a super major, it's getting draw from the West Coast, the Northeast, apparently Florida. Of course, all the Texans, I'm sure, will go. So it'll be
good representation of different metals.
Yeah, very interesting.
And then this week you're doing a clinic on it, right?
We're doing, assuming the lists actually release in time, me and Brad Chester in the war room are going to sit there and do a tournament clinic. Never tried this before, and go through all the major lists and what to watch out for and what to do, how they work. Kind of going through our own little tournament prep, even though Chester's not going. He's my personal coach.
Has he been helping?
I called him when we saw the pictures of the terrain on Saturday morning. I was like, Chester, what do I take? And he was like, take my list. And I didn't take his list.
No, you took the list that I helped you with.
You did. You're my other personal coach. You gotta have multiple personal coaches.
I'm the one Nick comes back and actually listens to.
Siege is the voice of reason. Chester is the voice of wine.
Nick came to John and I and was like, I think I'm gonna drop the foul blight spot, and we were like, nope,
Nope.
I'm not gonna entertain this silliness.
He's not mandatory.
He's only one of the best characters in the game. James R's new rule is the only new model I can think of that isn't that good.
Poor Jay-Z.
Lilith Hesperex has some good rules.
Does she?
She's got advance in charge, fall back in charge, and
those are good rules.
If she kills a model, she gets to fight again.
These are new rules that are about to come out?
Yeah, the GW prelude.
That is cool.
She has 7 base attacks as well.
Well, it's one of those models that she deserves to have some good rules. She's been out and about forever. Oh man. Let us know what you guys think about this new Hangout and Hobby template we got here. We switched the cameras, so now you're looking at our beautiful faces. We switched the side, we cleaned up what the top one is looking at to be like not everything. And then,
It's called cropping.
and we got a Kroot in the background. This isn't a green screen.
And it's your
actually
favorite,
a
it's the
Kroot.
Krootox Rider.
It's the Krootox Rider. He's the best of the Kroots. He might be one of the
He's an
only
agile
models
Kroot.
I've never used on a table.
I have seen it on a table against Brian Pullen when we ran meme towel lists.
Oh my god. I think I've seen them in lists, but he's one of the most rare models in the history of 40k right there. The Krootox
I'm getting
Rider.
3 of them from Workfire.
That's like catching a Krootox Raider is like running into a Genghis Khan in the Safari Zone. It's like, yeah, it's possible. You can devote your whole life to it, but like, is this what you want to do? Do you even know what I'm saying, Siegs?
Yeah, it's an agile brute, Nick.
It's an agile Genghis Khan.
It has Kroot fists.
We got 6 Poxwalkers. You know what I like about my new list too? It's got a clean 60 Poxwalkers. None of this 58 nonsense. None of this 56. 60.
When you need those points, you gotta start cutting from the big units.
You take a Blight Lord out, you know? Because eventually it's like, I could just chip away at my Poxwalkers, right? But then I was down to like 40 because I just nickel and dimed everywhere. I was like, you know what? I need troops. We gotta put these guys back.
Well, it's very much like Necron Warriors. Once you start getting like 15, 16, like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
This
isn't even doing it.
Any chance you can include what you're covering in the strategy sessions this week, Nick?
Include? Yeah. So I haven't totally decided, which is why I haven't put them on the schedule. I should get better about deciding more ahead of time. But I love to use games as inspiration for my strategy sessions. So like, I played 3 games this weekend. This is a practice weekend for me. I haven't had one in a long time. And then I'm gonna play John tomorrow on YouTube.
Against the White Scars.
Against the White Scars subscriber match, Magnus Mortarion. Oh boy. So I like to take tactics and things I learned from those and apply them to the strategy session. But I've also been meaning to do a list building one, but I think I want to try putting that list building one more in terms of a math hammer clinic with our coach, Adam. So, long story short, I haven't decided yet. But there might be some Kroot.
Probably not.
See, you're playing Kroot. You think
I
Kroot
am
are
playing.
good. What's this Kroot type of? How are you building Kroot on the paint stream?
Okay. So, first of all, they're actually reasonably cheap for what Tau bring.
How much like
Yeah.
cost? 5?
6 points a model.
6. More than a Poxwalker.
More than a box. It's fair, 10 pallets, don't worry about it. But what they do bring is a pregame move, 7 inches. And then you can take them in 20-man units. So, yes, if they dedicate the firepower to kill 20 Kroot, that's great. But I can get them onto objectives early, and Tau need help on the missions where you hold the objective in your command phase. If you hold it in your command phase, you just hold it. Being able to pregame cheap stuff out there like Kroot is pretty darn important on those missions.
Why not just run 10 mans just to pregame there and then if they die, they die?
Because these are kind of going against, because I'm running also 60 Breachers, I want all the anti-infantry fire to finish off a 20-man Kroot unit instead of going to the Breachers, because the Breachers actually do damage. It's
So
kind of like
almost like that distraction card effect.
It's almost like do you shoot the Kroot or do you let them just charge and wrap up your stuff?
I'm not shooting the Kroot. I want you to know that. The Kroot are going to do whatever they do and they get punched to death by 5 blade resistors. You going to interrupt?
I am going to interrupt.
He's going to interrupt.
Kroot have 3 different stratagems, Nick. Okay.
That's
Mind you, I don't know what they do because I haven't used them before. but one of them's heroic interventions.
One of them's heroic. Have we told John? Where is he?
I think that's the Kroot Striders, which I don't have yet.
Oh my god.
Nice shirts. These are our Art of War shirts, and they got the flamingo.
We got the flamingo. You gotta recognize the flamingo.
You gotta represent. We look forward to having you out, Nick. Lists are not live just yet.
Who died?
That is our friend Nathan Fennell.
Ah, cool. Yeah. Well, hopefully we get these lists soon, so I can actually have something to talk about in this tournament clinic. Otherwise, that'll be awkward.
What do you think of Sean Nathan's list?
I don't know what it is. If it's what he ran at that tournament last weekend, which I'm sure there's some overlap. No one just plays two different factions back to back like that. You can. I have done it. I don't recommend. It's strange. It's totally a Sean list. Weird janky Eldar stuff that no one else can make work. Let's not beat around the bush with it. But at the same time, I do like the 3 into 3 Dark Reapers he was toting. I think that's really clever. I've ran 3 into 3 Dark Reapers before, but it's been so long I kind of forgot they were a way to play Dark Reapers. That is really good.
They have indirect fire.
Yeah. Solo Warwalkers I'm a big fan of. The Eldar portion I really like, actually. But then I don't really understand Yennari, to be totally honest with you. They just do weird combat stuff, and every time I've read it, I've been very disappointed. So if Sean's found some stuff that I haven't found, it's going to be a rude awakening. But otherwise, I'm feeling pretty good going into it.
No, but this new setup looks clean.
Clean,
fit, lean.
I went for a run this morning.
Did you fall this time?
No, I didn't fall.
Can't wait to see you guys in Houston. Hope you guys like the terrain.
My time was like 14 seconds faster than last week. Last Friday, yeah.
It's working.
2 miles, 14 seconds faster. That's like, we're going to get down to like a 4-minute mile soon. We're not close to that.
Next week.
We're like, hopefully I can see double that soon.
Coming home to the Atlantic City Open GT this year, Nick.
Oh, definitely. I'm going to Atlantic City GT. And guess what? Exciting times. Maybe I will be getting a stream puppy also. Same weekend. What a great time to be alive.
Stream puppy?
Stream puppy. Would you guys like a stream puppy? We'll get on here. He'll build some poxwalkers.
He's better at building than Nick.
Oh, that'd be great. But hell yeah, I'm super excited to go to ACGT. I'm going to make that a trip. It's going to be more than just a weekend for me. These guys are just going to go for a weekend. That's okay.
We're going to go to Seer, your family.
He's going to come visit the family. He loves my dad. There's like this weird thing going on.
I think it's mutual.
Siegs is like my dad's second son. I don't really count.
Nick is the guy. Nick is the son who thinks flamingos can't fly.
I don't fly. You see wings on these things? There's only have wings in this flamingo.
No, his dad shut that down. He knows. Big pink carpet. What are Necron's best shooting units to base a shooting list off of? I know this isn't the best build for them, but I'm curious. Warriors with the Silent King. That's the most efficient because volume of fire with all the buffs is quite strong, and they're also good in melee. But if you wanted to go, some of the other better shooting units are the Tesseract Arcs from Forge World.
Mm-hmm.
Can decent volume of they're not consistent, but they can put out a good amount of damage.
I don't hate Annihilation Barges, honestly. They're like not great because the meta has a lot of 2-up armor saves, but in a not 2-up armor save meta,
in a Horde meta, they're not horrible because they're reasonably cheap.
Reasonably cheap, fast, decently tough, good shots per point, fly. It's just a good tank.
Yeah, it's just not the meta for them.
Right.
Because Warriors do the same thing, but better.
Yeah.
It's actually good in combat.
That'd be like an MSU shooting army.
Yeah.
Warriors are like a board control list. But I also think the Satans even running are really good at shooting in a way with mortal wounds.
Yeah. Hexmark Destroyer.
He's MVP. Is he in your latest list?
Yeah. Good. He's hexmarking. And he's destroying.
He's soloing 30 Terminator Devouradons. That's what he's doing.
Hey, the Catan helped.
They did like
nothing
5.
else helped. Strategy session idea question: how do you typically ignore certain units? Those big expensive stuff that's not worth trying to kill, potentially like Mortarion?
Well, you stall them in the case of Mortarion if you can. Like if you have units you don't mind losing that will take more than one combat phase to kill. Because remember, Mortarion can't even mathematically kill like 3 Blade Guard. Like he can because dice are dice, but like statistically, if you transhuman, he doesn't, which is insane.
Yeah.
So like to buy yourself a turn, charge something like that into Mortarion. Like yeah, you're not eager to lose 3 Blade Guard, but better you can dictate the terms of it. So you charge him into Mortarion, and then Mortarion doesn't kill the Blade Guard, hopefully. And maybe you want to use something a bit more secure than Blade Guard for this. But then you bought yourself a turn.
But like 20 Poxwalkers charge into him.
Yeah, 20 Poxwalkers. Like, he's got 18 attacks. If they all hit, if they all wound, I still have 6 up feeling pain. Like, I passed 3 out of 18, and
Morty's stuck, and you're obsec
and
on the
I'm
objective.
obsec on the objective. Stuff like that is great for it. Like, I don't care what happens to those Poxwalkers, but I bought myself a turn. Other units you can't really tie up sometimes. Like, not everyone has those types of units, or if you're playing against like Deathwing Terminators. Typically, the more deadly the unit is, the slower it is. Like, things like Mortarion can kill stuff, don't get me wrong, but he's not tabling whatever he touches. Whereas like 10 Deathwing Terminators will just kill you, no questions asked. But they're also slow. They move 5, so just walk away from them. They don't shoot, they move 5. Move block, move block. We teach that in War. A lot of War going on there.
You've done clinics on move blocking and tying things up, right?
At least 10 of them. At least a large portion of the clinics are on some form of movement-based shenaniganery.
Six, have you tried the Grey Knight Apothecary Bomb? Keep him cheap, deep strike him with dynamic, cast inner fire, increase its range, do the 3d6. Not really, because I'd rather put most of those command points and points into stuff that does more than just deep strike next to them. Because good opponents are still blocking off the 3.1 dynamic insertion. So you're not going to hit, even with all that investment, you're still not going to hit something that important.
It is more work, though. You know, like, I don't love having to block it off.
No, but I would rather have that work as something that's also filling an important slot, like a strike squad coming down.
Yeah.
Whereas the apothecaries, the elite slots, are very competitive for Grey Knights. And the apothecaries by themselves aren't Space Marine apothecaries. They don't have all the amazing rules. So I actually have dropped the apothecary from my latest list and just go for more stuff. That's...
So this is the one that gives me trouble, is this fat man right here. This one, these 3 pieces. The other ones are just 2.
Where's my Death Watch models at? Backlog 2?
Yeah, we ordered them. I even confirmed that they were ordered and successfully and all that, but G-Dubs is out of stock. So hopefully sooner than later. But, you know, Dark Eldar is right around the corner too, and we just ordered an enormous Dark Eldar army. So they will be coming out of the Comarock for this. You like that? You like that for Seeks? Fluff. Fluff.
What else do you know about Dark Eldar?
The space pirates, they have slaves, they're kind of into freaky shit, very Slaneshi. Racks, they contemplate the different ways they can murder you, according to Games Workshop.
according to the wonderful people at Games Workshop.
We want our game to appeal to people of all ages and you know, really expand it. Let's talk about murder.
Sadistic space pirates.
Sadistic space pirates. Well, you gotta know your audience.
We got a $20 super chat from Matt O. Coming for the stream match this month. In Mono Sisters, what would you replace Heavy Bolter Immolators with for mid-range shooting, since Death Guard Dark Angels are a thing? Or would you keep them anyway? That's a wonderful question, and Nick is actually playing Sisters this week.
Yeah, I don't think my Sisters list is awesome, but I do like it quite a lot. I think it's a good starting point for a mono detachment Sisters army, and I think you need a CP to hang out these days. I don't run any Heavy Bolters in it because, like you said, Dark Angels and Death Guard truly don't give a crap. But there is still good value to having that kind of firepower, so, you know, I might end up missing it. But interesting different ways you can go about doing it is I've taken some Zephyrim, and I plan on just deploying these things in a lot of games and just missiling them forward, kind of like you would a Vanguard vet unit. So in a way that a Heavy Bolter can shoot 36 inches across the table and pick up medium light infantry, so can a Zephyrim squad. So that's kind of the theory there.
You're just doubling down on the power of Bloody Rose, is that all those melee buffs you get.
Yeah. And also, Sisters have just phenomenal strats and really good detachments. So a lot of times you forego using some of your strats to get really good rules from your second detachment. I know Eric Lutheris has done mono Bloody Rose Brigade, so this started out, actually, my list is a Bloody Rose Brigade, but I've moved it towards a battalion. But the whole point is I want to still be able to make use of my amazing strats, because there's great strats in Sisters.
Advance and charge.
Resurrecting characters is really good.
You saw that with Necrons.
I'm just going to stand this character on the objective, and you're going to kill her, and then she's going to get right back.
It's so good in the Custom Dynasty because you're OPSEC.
Oh my god.
Will the Chronomancer come back?
Get the Chronomancer. It's all about the Hexmark Destroyer.
Hexmark Destroyer coming back.
Can he come back?
No.
Oh.
It's infantry, lord, or cryptech, I believe.
Man,
I don't think you can actually do it on Hex Destroy, but that will be cool.
he's like my guy, though. I think it's noble. I read it last week. See, I know things.
The lords are nobles.
Oh.
But you can also do cryptechs.
And the command barge.
No, you can't do the it's infantry.
Oh.
I would be running double command barge for sure if you could bring them back.
I thought you could.
No, you can't. That would be amazing.
I thought it was amazing.
Bring back my 9. Well, you bring it back with D3, but still.
That's why I wasn't like broken.
But he's minus
you can bring back crazy bike chaplains these days.
Well, that's Marines. Marines get special rules.
Oh, okay.
But thanks so much, Matto. And that is going to be Thursday's public YouTube stream game. The Tau, including Kroot, into Nick and his sisters. How you feeling about versus the Kroot?
I don't want to shoot the Kroot. I'm gonna kill everything else in your army and let the Kroot live. They're my friends.
The Kroot are going to surround all of Nick's.
I will not disrespect the Kroot. They are not to be trifled with.
They're going to surround all of his rhinos. He's just like, I guess I got to play down 3 repentance.
No, we're gonna desperate breakout. We're gonna get out of there, but we're not gonna damage you.
You'll roll the 1 on the rhino.
Oh,
No, if I wrap all 3 of them.
why? In the world, the Kroot walking around is able to hug my rhinos.
If you don't shoot them.
No, but I can. They have to be respectful, you know. You can't.
I'll throw them right into
No,
you.
you gotta. Like, if you mind your own business with the Kroot and try to hold an objective, I will let you. But you can't be a jerk with these things.
I'm going to misbehave with Kroot.
No, don't make me punch you.
Where can we get Art of War merch? That is a great question.
So soon. We are gonna get it on our website. Shirts, hats, dice. What else we got? Mouse pads. I want to get hoodies going. Oh, you can get even the emoji with a Nick on it, like a flamingo head, Great Weaver, call. I think it's good.
Let's get tropical.
Let's get tropical.
But that is definitely coming soon. What's the Art of War ITC team name?
Art of War. It's very creative. Should we put more effort into the name? I wasn't planning on it, but maybe I should.
If it's not obvious, you should probably rethink it. Art of War. But Nick will be representing this weekend in that Texas event.
Absolutely. Gonna bring it home, the gold for...
John and I are both going to show up last minute.
No.
Death Guard hard counters.
Zeke is gonna go camping. He's gonna explore his inner wilderness. Nothing. Kroot. He's really getting feral with it. I like it. Soon Zeke's gonna become an orc player.
Let's not get crazy.
Let's get crazy. Let's go tropical.
Thoughts on Geller Pox with Death Guard Soup? This is a great question for Nick. He definitely doesn't know any of the Geller Pox infected rules.
What that is? Is that the stuff from the
for the Kill Team boss?
Yeah, I have no clue what any of that does.
One of those things has a name too. It's like a giant furnace.
Well, there's a fortification. That thing is actually quite good.
No, there's a big Nurgle beast that's also like part furnace in that set.
Oh, you know what's really good? I wasn't sure what the terrain was going to be for this tournament. And I was seriously debating putting a Plague Furnace on my list because it's actually really freaking good. But you can't deploy within 3 inches of terrain. So I was like, I don't want to take the risk.
You wouldn't be able to deploy
I wouldn't be able to deploy it on those boards. They have little Aegis defense line pieces just blocking stuff for the sake of it. Like, that thing wouldn't go anywhere. Oh, man.
We've got another super chat from Matt. 20 pounds. What are you wanting to see the factions in the upcoming campaign supplement get? Great question, because Games Workshop has yet to tell us anything about it other than there's a campaign book. And what were the factions in it? It's Admech and Knights.
Fate Weaver?
No, it's not Fate Weaver. Well, is it Death Guard and Drukhari, I think? Because it was supposed to be
Why
out.
are Death Guard and Drukhari getting a campaign
It was
book?
supposed to be out already, and they just delayed it because, I don't know.
Well, I hope I care about Death Guard and I care about Drukhari. And both of them are getting codexes now, so like really couldn't care less about this campaign book, to be honest. But what I really want is a Kroot faction, like Kroot either own army lists like they used to.
This is not going to be in that campaign.
They used to have rules. They used to be a Kroot mercenary faction. You could legally play a faction of all Kroot at a tournament, and it wasn't even bad. It was honestly kind of good. So I want that to come back, and Fate Weaver has to get good again.
That's just not going to happen. Fate Weaver's never
Not
going
with
to
that
be good
attitude.
again.
See, we can change the world.
We got Andrew
We're
Gagnon.
streamers.
Andrew Gagnon, Mike Brandt, they're on the case.
We're influencers. People pay us money to influence things. You know, we're going to influence Fate Weaver's stat line.
But for a real answer to that question,
What's a very good answer?
is that I'd like to see what they did with the Tau Psychic Awakening, where they gave sub-faction rules. Like Farsight Enclave's got some amazing rules, added a whole new playstyle to the faction. I'd like to see that for AdMech. I'd like to see that for Knights, etc. So hopefully they go in that direction, like a really cool Drukhari sub-faction that gets a bit more fleshed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Some little cool options for their characters, kind of like they do with Blood Angels. They have this, they got their little Death Company thing, some extra relics and warlord traits, maybe something like that.
Maybe something that was.
I don't want them to go crazy on the rules, though.
Something that makes Plague Marines or just Nurgle stuff faster. I'm really missing speed here.
Maybe it's a segment of the Death Guard that really like summoning allies, and they
That would be cool.
help you bring in Nurgle demons, something
That would
like
be,
that.
That would be really
Just
cool.
a new play style to Death Guard. That's
you know,
what they
Death
should do.
Guard summoning demons right now ruins everything.
Yeah, I know. So this would help with that.
Yeah.
They would come up with some rule that prevents it if you do this.
Like, I would love to summon Nurglings and Beasts of Nurgle into my Death Guard. Like, that would be awesome. I'm taking a stupid solo spawn because I can't take Beasts of Nurgle. I hate this thing. He better be great.
What he ends up doing is just standing on an objective, and then the opponent's like, I have too many more important things to kill them.
That's not
It's fun.
We're just going to let that live.
Thanks again for that super chat, Matt. Very much appreciated. How do you play Silent King into Death Guard with Terminators? You really need to just go Warriors spam and have one break a Lich Guard. Ideally, you would try an ally in the Psychomancer, or have a Sawtech detachment that has Xandrek, a 5-mana Mortal Squad, and the Psychomancer.
But what is the Silent King specifically doing? Like, what's his job?
It's a Silent King build.
Oh, it's just build.
Yeah, just the build. So Silent King, if you're just running him in the Novak style, when you commit to the Terminators, you need to send the Silent King in at the same time. Otherwise, the Foul Blight Punch is going to ruin your day.
Or they didn't take one.
Or if they didn't take one, then you're actually quite good into them. Because you get all the Novak stuff.
Definitely think about dropping him.
But if they're running the Foul Blight Spawn and all the cool stuff that they have, then one of the tech pieces is adding a Sawtech Patrol. You lose protocols, but you gain the Vect, which you Vect the Plague weapons, turning the Bolters into Plague weapons. Because then they're not killing Warrior bricks without that, in shooting at least. And then you also bring in the Psychomancer, who can help target out the Foul Blight Spawn with his D3 Mortals. And you can also get access to another fight last, which is really important against Death Guard. You need them to be fighting last.
Yeah. I've actually gone towards Mortarians and Anvil in my Death Guard just because when people do tech in fight last, I need to be able to still take it.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a whole game going on with Death Guard because it's still not fully figured out.
Not at all. Yeah. Death Guard are really good though.
Yeah, they have so many options. That's their problem. They have so many good rules. You can't fit them all in. Deathwatch, are you thinking about running any Chunky Boys?
Which one's the Chalky Boys?
The Gravis bodies.
Well, I like heavy intercessors in Deathwatch a lot. So I'll probably run... in my test games, I've ran a 10-man squad of 5 heavy intercessors and 5 plasma scepters in a kill team. And then I put Feel and Pain on it, and I just make it generally really unattractive to deal with.
Generally
pretty
unattractive.
great. It's been pretty great.
We got a $5 super chat from Clown Mode. Nick, someone breaks into the stream house and takes John Lennon hostage. Save his life. You must make Seer Council work. What goes in the list? And this is Clown Mode was one of the top super chatters from last month, so has chosen a stream match: Seer Council versus Tyranids.
I know I'm playing that one. Well, Clown Mode, I'm going to do my best for you. Seer Council versus Tyranids, it's going to be a tough one.
What's the ideal Seer Council list?
I don't know. Wow. You know, it's funny you mentioned it. I have a handy dandy.
Does it have the Dark Reapers with the combat specialists?
No, it doesn't have the combat specialist Dark Reapers.
But it does 2 mortals.
It's been a minute since I've looked at Seer Council. That's actually what I was going to do today. So yeah, I knew this was coming up.
Here comes some Nick research. This is stuff you never see. Go ahead and show it over the camera here, Nick.
Okay, shut it up on camera. Hold on. Building
Nick's actually doing some research.
I always do research.
You mean I do the research and then I tell Nick what the research was?
It would be an excellent legal team. All right, so we have. I see. I just don't. I'd probably do hundreds of ancient relics. I think that extra attack, and then I'd couple it up with a bunch of spears. I'd make a very just fast, hard hitting, pick your battles kind of army, using Quaken and Jinx, and Doom, and those kinds of powers.
Just the stuff that Eldar really do well.
Yeah, it's just gonna be super fast, and it's gonna hit super hard, and when it gets beat out in close combat, that's really gonna suck.
There are some armies that are just.
Like, if I go against White Scars with 30 Vanguard Vets and 15 Blade Guard, I don't see a win patch for that army. But not everything is White Scars, Vanguard Vets, and Blade Guard.
At least they don't have denies, so you should get Jinx and Doom off.
Yeah, it's the fact that they have, like, 10 units that can kill me, and I have...
We saw that against the Grey Knights when they were trying to kill the different units.
Right.
Like, Grey Knights kill a lot of stuff, but they really want that extra AP.
Yeah.
To help against that +1 saving throws.
Well, especially because against those combat squad versions, it's like... I can Doom and Jinx a 5-man Vanguard Vet and pick that up real easy, but there's like 5 other 5-mans. That's hard. So I think it's Eldar showing their age, but I think you can do very well with a bike-based assault army that's very mobile, fast, and just picking people apart.
Yeah, so just a lot of characters, the Seer Council, a bunch of spears, maybe some small shooting elements.
If John's running his Demon Carry list, I'm going to struggle to kill those. So maybe get some Dark Reaper Fire support in there, but honestly, they're not going to do it either.
No, they're not going to do it. You might be building in a smite factory.
Definitely a smite factory. Always got it. Seer Council is a smite factory in itself. Take the Seer Council, double Fire Seer to make it go. All of a sudden, you just do like 10 more wounds in a turn because you felt like it. That's part of the list.
Run the Conclave to double the range of Restrain and Restrain them.
Maybe. Because the 10-man bike Conclave doesn't have access to that strat, so then you have to run a separate 2-man Conclave. But that's like a lot. I mean, they're cheap-ish, like...
They could also perils them to kill them all.
The problem is...
kill both of themselves. Trip over a rock. There goes the little Seer Council.
What did Mark kill them with in the last game?
Just some bizarre nonsense. Elucidity and Starstriders versus Gallerpox Infected would be the deepest cut battle report ever.
I don't know a single thing of those. I literally that be watching.
I have the models for the Elucidity and Starstriders. I haven't painted them though.
What do they look like?
There's like a medic. There's a dog.
There's a dog.
There's a dog.
Siegs.
There's an assassin character. There's the rogue trader herself, Lucia.
There's a distinct lack of evolution in horses and dogs between now and 40,000 years from now. Like, a horse looks exactly the same, feels the exact same.
I think the dog has an eyepiece or something.
Okay, so dogs are good in places, but the horses, like Rough Riders, that's
why they just removed them. They couldn't think of an upgrade to the horse.
No, the horse is
wasn't
perfect.
The bike. We have bikes. We have jet bikes. Horses. 40,000 years later, horses. Still horses. Horses all day, every day. I mean, why wouldn't you pick the horse?
I'm just saying.
Even the horses in Krieg have gas masks.
But they got it, otherwise they would die.
Exactly. So they're at least caring for the horses. That's important.
Yeah. Good to see that the animal safety standards got up. The horses get sick in the middle of the war.
Some sleeper OP stuff in there. I mean, a 23-point infantry squad that can jump for 1 CP is nice.
Wait, actually? That's pretty good. What is that?
I don't know, but...
Siegs, do some research. This is your job. You're just talking. Siegs does the research.
I have the rules somewhere. I think they're out in the garage.
In the garage. Haven't even made it into the house yet. Our garage is like a graveyard of boxes and destroyed models.
Because we have a closet in the house that has the 40k stuff. If you're in the garage, you're really unloved.
That's the stuff we haven't thrown out yet.
Right. Even the Kroot are inside the house.
Or Lucidity and Starstriders. Apparently there's some broken stuff in there.
I know where they're in. But, yeah. Like anything else, it comes down to its tech worth the CP. That's probably where it's no, but it's worth a look.
Oh, that's a Scramblers for 1 CP. Like, guerrilla tactics for 1 CP, I'd pay for that.
All of us have shifted away from taking Scramblers.
Yeah.
Because we got to the point where we were just denying it every game.
No one actually scored scramblers.
Nobody has scored scramblers in the house for a while. Except you did. You did the last game against the Knights, but you played against Knights.
I did.
You played against 6 models.
It took me all 5 turns.
It took him 5 turns to get scramblers.
Against 6 Knights.
And turn 2, he got to do it in John's deployment. So that shows you how far he had to go. That's how bad scramblers is sometimes. If your opponent's really built to deny it.
Or if they're not.
Even if they're not. Like Knights. This isn't Knights with guard. That was like 6 models. For Knights.
No, like, I think a large part of 40k is building your list to optimize which secondaries you can take, but also because scramblers is a go-to, optimize your list to deny it. Like that's a huge part of the game. If your opponent is building like I'm going to take scramblers in every game as one of my secondaries into his list plan, his strategy, and you just cut that out from under him, he's got to figure out 10 to 15 points on the fly, and maybe he can't.
Yeah, and we saw it in the Our War podcast episode that you and I did on Nick Keever's OBSEC Custom Dynasty build, where he's intentionally designed it to deny scramblers because his Necron list doesn't give up really any kill secondaries, so most people take board control. One of the easier or safer board control ones is on paper scramblers, and he just denies it every game.
Yeah, for sure.
Super powerful, great podcast episode. Has anyone run Morty with 3 greater demons?
I have seen the Magnus Morty triple keeper list. I'm not going to lie, I did confess using it tomorrow against John, but I think it's kind of terrible, so I haven't.
Is it good into White Scars though?
I mean, it's Magnus Morty and 3 keepers. You push forward and you say, "Can you kill me before I kill you?" And if they can, then that sucks. And if they can't, then you're good to go. Specifically because I had to play against John's stupid White Scars. No, I don't think John's going to fail to kill me. I think I'm going to get tabled if I run it, which is why I said it's bad. And even if I, because John's White Scars don't turn on until turn 3, so maybe I can go first and get on top of them before it happens. This is typically how you do beat White Scars.
Just spends 2 CP on a big Vanguard bet and sends it at you.
2 CP big Vanguard bet would be horrendously bad. But also, the troops in that army are 30 demonettes. The second he just transitions his strategy to kill 30 demonettes, I got keepers holding back field objectives, I guess.
Remember that against the Grey Knights when you played the demons and I just killed all the Nurglings and the cheap stuff and you were like, well, great. I have to leave this greater. I have to leave the great unclean one on this deck.
Great unclean one, go. Pierce the veil.
What a meme.
He came back to life to finish piercing the veil.
I just ignored him.
Just let this happen.
This is too good. No, it's the interrupt on the mirror with 3 Grey Knight Terminators that did.
No. I guess she's dead. The demonettes was when I was broken. I just charged 30 demonettes and nothing happened.
You killed 1 Terminator.
Awesome.
You might have killed 2.
No, I didn't.
Oh no, the keeper had gone first and killed 2, and the demonettes killed none.
The whole thing didn't kill
answered.
5 Terminators. Yeah.
No, to be fair, they had -1 to
-1
to wound and +1 to saving throws. Yeah. Emblems. But
apparently -1 to wound is very bad for ending.
It actually
did not put that together. Probably should have.
Why am I not rolling more 6s to wound?
I should really do something with this.
Alright guys, I've been taking a look back into town, been trying out broadside batteries and smart missile spam due to their hefty points drops. Managed to win a game by killing everything from out of line of sight.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, broadsides, especially the rail ones. The rail ones are very interesting now, because with the 2 plasma up top and the prototype, the Magna Rail system, they're actually really cheap for what they bring. 270 points for 3 models. They got a 2 shotgun, strength 9, it's AP4, and it's D6 damage, minimum 3.
Mm-hmm. Oh, minimum 3, that's nice.
It's not bad. You throw the reroll wounds on them. They give you some decent anti-tank.
That's solid, yeah.
They're 2 up armor save.
That's actually, then they can pass the drones if,
If really
tough,
needed, yeah,
like,
exactly. You could throw the 4 pinball shield generator on them to make them a little more pricey, but still not that much.
I like that unit. You should run some broads. Hitting on 4 sucks, but at least it's never 5s.
You have to really
It's
build
not
around
always
marker lights, and I'm all against building on marker lights, so I just don't really build around marker lights in my list. I'm just throwing OPSEC onto the board. I'm really playing a mission-based Tau army.
Yeah.
Try and control the board, and that's what the airburst as well. It helps me control the middle as best as possible. I'm still playing Tau, but I think that list actually has some
Airbursts
life.
are so bad for sisters.
Is it?
A bunch of just sisters, walk around with 3 saves, you're going to cover. AP1. Let me take my 4 saves.
But it's a lot of shots.
That's what I'm saying. It's really
Oh, I thought you said it.
No,
I thought you said it was bad
I'm
against you.
very afraid of this. This is
No.
a problem.
No, one of the reasons we're doing that matchup is because, yes, Tau are the worst army in the game.
No. There's...
Yeah. they're pretty bad. So, but however, this is the build that I've come up with is actually pretty decent in some matchups, including, I think, Sisters. I think there's some play against Sisters with this particular build.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
We'll see how it works. Sisters are still one of the best armies in the game, so
We have Sisters.
We're not gonna-
Gotta remember they're a good faction.
I still think Draxus is worth it in the Sisters list for the Smite paralysis grenade.
I go back and forth on Draxus every time I build a Sisters list. She's awesome, but then sometimes she doesn't do anything. A lot of times she doesn't do anything.
It's because she has to charge in to actually do
She
it.
just walks 6 inches and has to charge to make something fight last. But still, the Smite is good utility. It opens up secondaries if you need. It closes aboard the Witch, but who cares? No, she is good. She just never makes the cut for me. Sisters have so much, 85 points or whatever she is, could be so much in Sisters. That's like a Sisters unit and a Crusader unit. It's a Rhino. Sisters always want more Rhinos. The Seraphim squad to get Scramblers with. It's endless how much I can do with 85 points.
The other thing is that Lieutenant is coming eventually.
Oh, she's gonna change my life. Then I can really just say screw you to old martyred lady. Keep my CP.
And you know she's going to be dirt cheap.
They're gonna be dirt cheap, like 45 points. Then we're gonna compare to a Magus a bunch of times. The Primus.
Any of the crew characters, not crew characters, the Tau characters.
The attack characters are great.
They're all more expensive than the Sisters characters.
They do more. They have guns. Cyclic Ion Commanders.
Okay, well, I'm not counting the commander.
I'm
Of course, the commander.
counting.
That's one of the 2 good units in the Tau book. I thought 3 large monsters just beat White Scars, right, Nick?
Someone troll me, right?
That's a super chatter, Matt. Oh. Respect. Oh no, that was Jonathan.
Still.
Good on you, Jonathan. Never forget.
We don't have to bring these things up, honestly.
There's a whole bunch of talk about the broadsides. I was definitely willing to put them in the list against the guard, but then John probably would have said I was tailoring my tower to help beat guard. So I was like, I don't need help tailoring.
Way to tailor your towel.
So I didn't. Because those things actually just pick up tank commanders.
What does?
The broadsides with the Magnum Rail.
You should have put them in. We would have liked to see the towel win a game.
I did actually win that game by 2 points. You forgot
How'd
to
you
give me
drew?
a... We drew based on your scoring.
My scoring was
After the
based on
kerfuffle.
your guys telling me what the scores are. 'cause
But
I'm
I
doing
scored
that
2
many
points on
things
that.
back there.
That awful mission secondary, I scored 2 points on it, turn 3. Because the stealth suit survived.
The entire game, you didn't tell me anything about that secondary. I had a giant
I
zero.
honestly
before.
forgot I took it.
And
Because
I entered 5. I was like, see, is this supposed to be 0? Like, what is this?
when we looked it up and then I saw it wasn't just control the objective. You had to control the objective and not just survive one. I was like, why did I pick this? I just accepted the 0. And then I got 2 points out of it. Won me the game.
Got me on that.
I should have taken the raise the banners. And got free 5 points out of it.
Yeah, free 5 points is not the worst. Better than a 0 on scramble or whatever the hell you took.
Well, I thought that secondary was you just had to survive on the objectives. It's like John's not killing all the breachers and all the stealth suits, so I'll just get some points out of it. But no, you have to control it. So 10 guardsmen can just touch these. It's like, yes, I wouldn't take it in that game.
Just kill all the guardsmen.
Most of the mission secondaries are such a trap.
Did you take them their ranks?
Yes,
No.
that was the kill one. I took.
Yeah, that's a good one to take there.
Yeah. What would you change or add to the next guard codex to make them a meta army? Make Bulgrin good, for sure.
Volgren would solve a lot. They really just need countercharge. I think it'd be cool if they had some way to disembark after their Chimera moves. That'd be pretty cool.
They had a way to disembark after a Valkyrie with the Scions.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Guard as like a mobile combined arms force. I don't want them to spam tanks or spam infantry. I want them to just do Here's a lot of stuff. They don't need an overhaul, honestly. They're probably going to get one because that's what 9th edition will do. But
Yeah.
all they need is just to have counter charge and like slightly better rules.
Yeah, like some of their rules are still amazing, and
Their firepower is legit.
Yeah.
Guardsmen are fine at 11 points each. Or 55 points.
11
55
points
points
each.
per
You heard it here first.
Guardsmen are fine at 11 points each. Foxwalkers, though.
Nick has something against guardsmen.
I really don't like guardsmen.
Uh,
Can we talk about how I've almost built 30 Poxwalkers and we're like not even halfway done with the paint stream?
easy to build poxwalkers. Hey, it turns out they are. This is good marketing. They are actually easy to build.
Yeah, Games Workshop should pay me for this. Get my brown ball.
If Nick can build this many this quickly, then they have to be.
They have to be.
Anybody else will build them. What are your thoughts on the AdMech leaks? Corpus Guard getting AP1 on their shooting, so probably the AP2 strat's going away. Yeah, I figured the same thing. And I imagine the strat that brought them to AP2 probably goes away as well, and they just stay at AP1. But they're also AP1 in combat now too, that's a nice boost for them. Fulgurite's going from 2 to 3 D3 damage. I really wish they got an extra attack. 2 attacks is not amazing, unfortunately. Just where the game is right now. Where Space Marines have like 5 attack Blade Guard Sergeant coming in. For like the cost of 2 Fulgurites.
Yeah, they used to hit hard. They used to kill whatever they touched. The game has changed.
Yeah. So what that could mean though is some of their relics and Warlord, like Primer Medicon maybe stays and they get something else that's a powerful melee relic or Warlord trait. So maybe they want more support towards the melee if you go that direction, which I'm fine with.
Poxwalkers.
Nick finally using Poxwalkers.
I've never not been using Poxwalkers. Since the Death Guard book came out, I've been like, oh, these guys are good. I will say I'm still not running as many as I could.
Yeah. I like the big, but that's just me.
I'm running 2 units of 20. Like, that's quality.
No, when you went down to just a couple 10-mans, I was like, that doesn't seem like enough.
Yeah, no, I feel good about my count now. I have 2 20s and 2 10s. I have thought about running like 80 to 100, but 80 Poxwalkers is 400 points. Like, do I want 80 Poxwalkers or do I want 10 Terminators? You want both, but
I think it would be the case of you like going away from Plague Burst Callers and that type of thing, where I'm just going to flood the board with stuff.
Maybe that's a better way to do it.
Maybe. Requires testing. Consider trying OBSEC Devilfish Heavy Tau Army, at least 4 units full of OBSEC and transport, supported by Riptide Stealth Suits. Something's telling me I struggle to hold objectives. That's why I went for just cut the transports out and cut the Riptides and stuff, and instead go for just tons of OBSEC with the defensive buffs that Breachers can get. 5 up invuln on them, 4 up armor, 3 up in cover. Super nice. And Kroot is just 20 bodies that your opponent doesn't really want to shoot at, but they're actually pretty quick because they move 7 inches and have a pregame move. They could just start tying things up and give you an extra turn you wouldn't have had. Or with their 20 bodies, they can just move block a bunch of charges and take away a movement phase. Like, I think there's some play there, and we're going to see if there is that play on Thursday.
There's definitely going to play on Thursday because I'm not going to shoot them.
They're going to wrap everyone in Nick's Rhino.
I'm going to wrap them. Just want to give me hugs.
The Kroot are coming in, and they fail the charge.
So what made you count on my army last night? So I sent my list of Siege last night for the stream. It was 1760 because I forgot.
He sent it to the whole chat.
Yeah. And then, so like you counted the points in my list here. Like
I looked at it and I was like, this doesn't seem like a lot compared to most Sisters lists. Because usually you were running like a couple Mortifiers for mission playing and some Immolators.
Yeah.
Or you had a bunch of Rhinos. You know, there was just more stuff in it. Or there was a second detachment.
Right.
And I just looked at it and I was like, I just kept going through the points and like just roughly, not actually counting up. I was like, this doesn't seem enough, so I actually counted it up, and it was 1760. And I was like, is Nick giving me a handicap here? Like, is there summoning points in this?
There's some Mark stuff going on. We can do that though. You can take Cypher, and he's an Imperial character and a Chaos character, but because he's got the Chaos keyword and no mark, he can summon anything. So it is not even that difficult to summon in your sister's army. Or you start doing it. Peace and wriggle.
That's one of those things that nobody has ruled on either because nobody has been brazen enough to actually try and bring it to an event.
Oh, I should just do it. It's not even good though.
Like, no, it's not good.
Let's like
you don't get any of the chaos rules.
Yeah, there's no point.
You don't get the strats.
you're going really far out of your way to take a terrible character cipher, so you can summon like beasts of Nurgle that aren't doing
That
much.
don't have the +1 invuln strat.
They don't need that, but like.
No, but it would make them.
I mean, they just don't do anything. They just exist. Like, you're taking a terrible character for something that exists. Like, Imperium doesn't need that stuff.
No.
Take some Terminators.
Play Space Marines.
Yeah.
Play Dark Angels, really. That's what Dark Angels, the Terminator build does.
But maybe there's play. Like, you could summon some Fiends in the Epitome and then trap people in combat with your assault army of some sort.
You would fail with some of the Epitome.
I probably would. I wonder what you would trap in combat with the Epitome. What's the coolest thing you can do? Electro Priests?
Why would you want to trap Electro Priest?
No, like take your Electro Priests and then summon an Epitome and then trap something in combat. Like, I'm trying to think of what it
I mean, at least they can get the 2-up invuln, so it's not like...
Probably Vanguard Guts, honestly.
Just stuff that can fall back in charge.
Yeah. Alright, so White Scars with the Epitome.
White Scars with a Cipher detach.
It's like auxiliary Cipher, White Scars army, no doctrine.
These aren't that good. These aren't the scary Vanguard.
These are not 2 damage. They're only AP2, but I have an Epitome. If I roll, it's 10 on 3 dice.
This is bad.
OCP reroll for something.
Yeah, I very much doubt that the Electric Priest stratagem stays for the +1 invuln. That's just very, very much doubt that survives.
Yeah, that's like an old...
Necrons lost that too. They used to have it. I think it was the Nihilak strat.
I remember that.
The
one faction in Necrons that auto advances 6, I actually like that.
That's Nihilak.
Yeah, I thought so. See, because I messed this one up. Can you fix this guy?
What happened?
He just didn't glue right.
Is he? Can you pull him out?
I mean, in theory.
I don't want to snap him.
Alright, well, I'll just have a messed up pocket locker, I guess.
I think I can get him.
Oh. Okay. How does he go, though? Easy to build. Snap fit.
Are you sure it goes on this one?
Yeah, these are... There's no mixing that up. There's one way to do these things. It's just like this specific mold is like crappy, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it doesn't fit properly.
Ah,
I would snip that part off and then fit it in.
easy to build my butt.
What makes Sean Naden so darn good?
He plays weird units no one's ever heard of. And
he's a patient, methodical player. He's played the same army for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Eldar, he just pretty much specializes in that, so he knows all the rules inside out. So it's like when I was playing Tau in that season. I just played Tau for almost the entire season until Iron Hand, until the Revive build. I just knew all the Tau rules.
Every time I've had like a super hot run in my 40k career, it's because I just didn't hop faction for a while. And then
You're just the master of that faction.
Yeah.
And you have so many reps that nothing really surprises you.
Yeah, like you can. There's like sometimes I run into situations in 40k where you lose the game or whatever, you mess up, the situation goes poorly for you. You might still win, but like you lost that little engagement within the game, and then 3-4 weeks later down the road, if you're thinking about it somehow and you come up with some weird rule that you never thought you'd use, you find an answer to that. And it's like really interesting. Just this morning, I was on a client call with my buddy Finn. Finn is one of my premium coaching clients. We were talking about Death Guard and stuff. And then he was like, yeah, I used, one of the reasons I want to keep the Plagueburst Crawler, unless we're debating cutting Plagueburst Crawlers, is it's got a bunch of long-range plague weapons. So you can use the 2 CP strat that after you've fired a plague weapon at a unit, you can turn you can give reroll 1s to wound to all of your non-plague weapons. And I dismissed that strat because Death Guard can't afford 2 CP on stuff like that, and reroll 1s to wounds is just not that good. But then I found myself in a scenario against Mark the other day in a practice game where I just shot my whole army in Mortari, or like John with his knights, and it's like, it doesn't matter how much CP or resources it's cost me. My army shoots you, and it's got to hit as hard as it possibly can. So it's like, that would have been a nice thing to remember I had. Little stuff like that. Little stuff.
Definitely.
Because then against the Dreads rerolling 1s to wound. Like, that's a lot of reroll 1s.
Yeah.
More chances for mortals.
No, I mean, you should definitely do it against the Knights.
2 damage shots. Wounding now.
Nick
Yeah.
prefers leaving Knights on 1 wounds.
I have a very bad habit of it. it's actually like a problem.
Nobody more than Nick wants the 1 CP I acted full profile to disappear.
That thing is the bane of my existence. Like every game I've lost to Knights has been because like multiple Knights lived on 1 wound. I hate them.
So I guess you survive and get to do the same amount of damage the entire next.
It's not even just that. It's like, all right, I planned my whole turn on this Knight was dead, and I did my best, and it's on a wound. And I'm not prepared for this Knight to be inside my army because that's where it started.
And then it blows up.
And then it blows up on the characters.
Knights. Knights or Tau?
Tau's at least a real faction. Knights aren't even a real faction.
Oh.
You're like, they're just a model that you can just take as many times as you'd like until you hit 2,000 points.
How do you feel about the Majera in particular?
It's broken. Forgewood can't help itself. It's like, man, we have to fill our broken rules quote of the year. It's waste of Majera.
What about the Rad Cleanser specifically? The little flamer.
I have such a speed version of the Majeras. I don't even know what they do. All I know is that they have 12-shot flamers. They have the most amazing Overwatch in the world. And it's terrible. It's not 2d6 shots. It's not 8 shots hitting on 6.
It's John with 2d6 shots. The Manticores are the same exact thing.
The fact that he doesn't see it, the fact that he genuinely
he gets
likes
mad.
Manticores,
He rolled 6 shots, Nick.
Upset.
It's like,
I guess I'll
ridiculous.
take it.
This is
like,
ridiculous.
what is this?
This is absurd. I hope John's in the chat or listening.
I hear those little footsteps.
He's probably getting snacks right now.
You gotta get snacks.
Your Drukhari armies are ready to go?
It's ready to go. We're getting it ready to roll. We'll get the Drukhari on stream the second that book kit drops. We'll get a nice commissioned Drukhari army on stream soon. It's gonna be good times, hopefully.
Nick is super pumped for Drukhari.
I am. I'm like already over my Death Guard phase because I'm like excited for Drukhari.
Why do we keep letting John win? Make him feel good?
Make him feel good. You gotta just gotta let these kids have their fun.
It was just like in the, not last season, but the previous season where I didn't win any of the big events in Florida, but I won the big events outside.
Historically, I have lost every practice game I ever play and then won a tournament. That's been my career. I just only recently started playing every practice game I ever play on camera. But that's true, though. I like to practice harder than the actual tournament.
There's John.
There he is. Can I heroic intervention here?
He was about to bring up Charity Hammer. Some janks with the Poxwalkers, I think, is the limit on 1 per bubonic Astartes. Yeah, I mean, that definitely holds you back from
That's the reason you can't spam them. Otherwise, I totally would.
Yeah. Do you guys expect a incoming tune down to Dark Angels?
Maybe. I don't think it'd be anytime soon.
Yeah,
like,
not for a while.
Not talking in the next month or so, but if their win rate just continues to be
Just so easy to play.
they're so easy to play.
It's just I can shoot you and you can't kill my Terminators that are staying on the objectives.
Or even if you just like, there's probably a very good competitive Ravenwing army that's probably even better than the Terminator easy to build list, but like it's so obvious the Terminator easy to build army.
It's just their Terminator shouldn't be costed the same as others. Inner Circle is a major buff.
Yeah.
It's that simple. So them going up a couple points per model would be enough. Also, the Talon Master should be 160 points.
Bodyguard also is just a dumb roll.
Yeah. It's simplified from the last version where you're passing off all the time. They wanted to get rid of
I
that.
like how simple it is. I just hate how
I think
effective it is.
if you can draw a line of sight, without and there's no other enemy units in line of sight or whatever. I don't know.
It should be something like, if it's the closest visible target, you can still just shoot the guy. But like, right now I can have my whole army behind the wall and the Talon Master in front of the wall within 3 inches of the Terminators, and you can't shoot a thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely intended, though.
Yeah.
By the way they wrote it. Like,
Yeah,
it's just super
It's got just detrimental consequences on competitive 40k.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm sure it doesn't matter in those
If
games.
Yeah. Luckily, the edition has a lot of melee armies, so it's not like you don't just have bodyguard and that wins you games.
Yeah.
It wins you games against armies that can only win one way, shooting. Dropped the tanks and all the demon engines, flood the board with Poxwalkers, Plague Marines, Deep Death Shrouds, and characters. Been working so far for him. That's Nathan.
Oh, nice, Nathan.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a very strong list, honestly.
Yeah, deep striking Death Shrouds, I do that all the time. Flooding board Poxwalkers, it's great. I'm still doing tanks, but I'm going further and further from the tanks, to be honest. But I just can't give up my shooting crutch. I also don't think you can survive getting shot too hard forever.
I got stomped by John's Tyranid list with my Blightlord Terminator so hard.
This doesn't make any sense.
It's not an easy list to play against. This Demon Karen will do absolute work. How do you feel about Demon Karen?
More things I hate.
Cordial?
Maybe I shouldn't have thrown in his directions. I'm going to get these back in here.
Instructions.
Oh, this is wrong.
Nick still hasn't noticed I haven't been using the instructions for the Kroot.
That's because the Kroot are an old kit where all the things make sense.
Somebody actually threw out the instructions.
Doesn't mean my statement is wrong.
The kit does make a lot of sense.
The old kits are where it's at. The old kits have everybody coming to the yard for the old kits.
All the mono pose.
It's not mono pose. Look at all your Kroot are all different posed. My Poxwalkers are mono pose.
Yeah, they are. Is it true that Eldar Guardians can get a 3-up invuln?
Yeah. So all you have to do is get shot by something, and then you use the 1 CP strat called Celestial Shield, which gives all your Guardians a 4-up invuln from shooting only. And then if you have Protect on them already from a previous turn Psychic phase, then they will have a +1 to saves, so that includes invulns. They'll have a 3-up invuln from that, from shooting. It's really strong.
Yeah, it's very strong, because it's a 20-man unit with the turrets, and then the turrets get a 2-up armor save for that.
Yeah, from Protect.
So you can tank quite a bit of damage on them.
Like Volume Fire, that would chew through 3-up saves in mass, because they're only toughness 3 still. You put them in 2-up armor save turret, and they have 2 wounds each. 2 turrets is 4 wounds and 2-up armor, that's a lot. And anything like tougher, put in your 3 wound or a 3-up invul 8-point model.
With a fair few Forge World Special Death Core Creek models now marked as no longer available, do you think they're being phased out? Quite possibly.
Yeah, definitely a possibility.
Forge World doesn't like to keep everything in stock for a while.
They also like to break rules every now and then, but that's part of the course.
For upcoming competitive enthusiasts, at what point does Nick recommend swapping between factions?
I think it's a matter of comfortability. When you're, as you said, up and coming, I recommend not switching for a little while. We switch all the time here because we're like professionals and stuff, but not for beginners. I would say once you've really kind of come to grips with your faction, you feel like you've really been playing it for at least 6 months, probably closer to a year. That's when you can look at it, and I do recommend switching around that point because it gives you diversity. You learn what other armies do. You really start to increase your game knowledge and that stuff. From there, you can switch a little bit more frequently, and that's how the addiction gets you when you have a house full of 40k stuff and 11 different armies. But, that's how I'd recommend doing it.
Would you guys ever play Kill Team competitively? Pariah Nexus makes it look interesting.
I'll say anything's possible, but probably not anytime soon.
I just don't think there's the viewership for it.
Yeah,
it's probably the bigger thing.
But maybe if it becomes the more competitive of the Games Workshop produces, don't expect that anytime soon. But if it does, anything's possible. It is a much faster game to play, which makes it much easier to stream. I could see it.
I played a couple games of Kill Team. It wasn't too bad.
I played one. I didn't know what I was doing. Got destroyed.
I was playing with Tao, and I was just shooting broken rail rifles from across the map.
I don't remember how fighters.
It was amazing. So, I'm tabling you.
Great. Awesome. Gotta love Tao.
It was just like playing Tao in 8th edition.
You mean Tao still?
No, not Tao still. I worked my butt off to beat John's guard.
Work your butt off to beat John's guard. What a statement.
Guard are a lot better than Tao.
They are. That's true.
And also, John still took 2 full payload Manticores against me. And then added a Wyvern after he saw I was running 1,000 infantry bodies.
I think when you're playing Pure Guard, a Wyvern's not like out of the question here.
Is it?
I would.
He was against the Wyvern the whole last year. Remember how we talked down about it?
John's not the most consistent with his opinions. Like that's for sure.
That's true. It's garbage. Why would you ever take it?
Things change with the wind with John. I remember the day the Dark Angel Index came out, not the Dark Angel Codex. Like we're talking like Index. August when everyone just gets like
the most broken thing ever.
He's like he was on a phone call with one of his clients, and he was just like, "We're Dark Angel players now. Screw the White Scars. We're Dark Angel players now." That's what he said.
Nick and I were both there.
Never change.
Bad part about the new setup is we can't see John creeping in the background ready to jump in.
Oh, one day.
We got Kroot though. That makes up for it.
Kroot to make up for it, honestly. Like if you don't have Kroot, what do you have?
Looking forward to seeing Antonio Cedino's Necron list. Feel like we haven't seen much of Necrons from that region. Last time I saw, he was running like 20 death marks, 2 axe mark destroyers. It's like a really
out there kind of army,
sniping type army.
Yeah. I don't have bodyguard rule.
Yeah,
but I'm really hoping it's not multiple Satans. That would be really bad for the Death Guard. He's actually someone I'm quite worried about if it is multiple Satans.
Made the mistake of de-screwing a whole box of Skitarii Rangers when I got back into 40k after sitting on 7th edition. Took me a fair bit to figure out that kit. There's tons of small bits on every admech kit. I would.
You know what's nice and easy to build? The old school kit you're building right here. These Kroot, so easy. Kroot. I built so many Kroot in my life.
The arms that are supposed to go with each other are next to each other.
Isn't it magical? This is what I'm saying. These new builds, screw that. This one one model has been harder to build than Sig's entire Kroot box.
These are Kroot. Been thinking about trying out a Whirlwind and Black Templars. How do you feel about them?
Whirlwind?
Yeah, for the Starstriders.
I like Whirlwinds a lot, actually. And Black Templars especially, I could see it, because you're using Devout Push, which means you're not getting charge bonuses and stuff, so making people fight last in there, hell yeah. That's actually really clever. It's a good thing Jack's not doing that.
He's too busy running Blade Guard.
You're on max Blade Guard. I mean, it's not a bad place to start.
No.
Considering Jack's really been playing for like not that long in 8th.
He has to go through the Blade Guard phase.
He got the Blade Guard phase. Blade Guard is the most broken thing in the game.
More broken than Custodian. And now Nick has totally switched his tune. Those Custodian guards with the Star Shields are something else.
They're solid. They're solid, but they're not like they're 50 points a guy. They better be good.
But they're not that much more expensive, and they're T5 too, and they have better strat support.
They do. They
really
get to be used differently than Blade Guard. Blade Guard can be used like that.
And they don't need a Warlord trade nearby to be OPSEC.
But a Blade Guard without strat support for 35 is absolutely insane. Just like if we're looking at stat lines for 35, it's unreal.
I mean, you look at most of the rest of the game, and it's just silly.
Yeah.
It's cheaper than a Crisis suit.
Where is the nerd? Oh, he just goes on a little base? This guy's so cute. So now that I have the Death Guard characters and I don't have to use Mark's characters, I know what they look like now.
You mean not just a Chaos Spawn?
Not just a Chaos Spawn. This Tallyman...
He's the Lord of Virulence.
He's the Lord of Virulence. that was awesome. He's a great Lord of Virulence.
How come you went away from the Lord of Virulence?
He's like 40 points cheaper than the imprints and does a lot less than the imprints.
And a While We Stand. Gotta build those While We Stands in.
You really do. Like, people don't take that seriously, but you really need to have a plan for all your secondaries going into the game. And a lot of times you can make the plan, well, they'll probably give up something. I'll take a mission-specific secondary. That'll work until it doesn't. And then did you just lose that game where it didn't? I've played John's White Scars that don't give up anything way too many times.
Oops, sorry, Timothy. Let me scroll up and see what question was. Mm-hmm.
All right. We got. I'm good. I am done for today. How much more time is left?
It's 219.
Oh my god. I feel like I built for hours.
Do you want to build the Kroot hounds for
No, we're going to base these things. We're going to get the basing involved. How is 219? I just built 30 Poxwalkers and Italian. Are you saying if I just built like this for like an hour every day?
Hey, Timothy, I scrolled all the way up. I don't see any other questions with your name on it. Were you logged into a different account? But I just looked up and I don't actually see any. So sorry about that. Just go ahead and repost because now I can see what you're posting.
So, have you seen the handy dandy paint palette anywhere?
If you were posting a link or something, the chat might have stopped you from posting it. What's that?
Handy dandy paint palette.
No, it's up in here.
Yeah, I'm asking you to grab it for me.
It's garbage.
It's not garbage.
It's disgusting. Don't put it on.
You know,
Don't put it in the center.
dead center.
Nobody wants to see it.
I want to see it.
Let's go live Wednesday, so you might have time to discuss. What time on Wednesday?
Better be in time on Wednesday. I'll be sad if I don't get to do my little clinic.
Oh, look at these Kroot.
I'll have to move my clinic. Even worse.
They give you extra arms too.
They give you extra. That's because it's an old kit. They care about you. They want you to convert. Show some creative freedom. Don't be a simp, Seeks.
There's so many extra arms. Look at all this.
Yeah, you gotta have posable Kroot. Unlike today, where the Kroot's arm must go in A1 versus I6 to do this.
Well, the worst kit, one of the worst ones I've come across is the Lich Guard kit. It gives you one example of how to build the Lich Guard. Each of the arms is specific and has to go on a specific guide, but they don't tell you which one for the rest of the models.
Cannot trust that. Is there sand somewhere?
I'm not giving you the sand.
Just give me a sand.
No, you can do that off stream because you're going to put it in my water again.
I won't. I'm using this water right here. The glue is out. It's just give it to me. Sounds good up. Yeah.
This is big sand.
Big sand's okay.
There's small sand up here.
Let's get small sand. Big sand.
Let's not trust you with the big sand.
What's the difference? Big sand, small sand, all the same sand.
You can't handle the big sand. Right now, Demecarons are quite great. What are your thoughts about melee flying Hive Tyrants in comparison to a Demecaron?
I like John's mixed flyer, which is like 12 shots and actually combat capable, because the 12 shots honestly sometimes are annoying. You're just gonna pick up some cultists and they'll get it done.
Yeah, you don't have to commit the exocrine to doing it.
Yeah.
Or Hive Guard, which you need to do more important stuff.
Sometimes like a lowly Chow drone, and you know the Hive Guard can't get that done, so
They're not getting that done, no way.
got the flyer involved.
We should play Towers Tyranids again.
Honestly, no. Because I know that would have to be me, and something weird would happen.
One drone survives everything. Nick Rage quits again.
Double shot the Exocrine, double shot the Hive Guard, wasted the CP, knew I shouldn't.
When Hive Guard involved, Nick is going to waste the CP.
You know it. You know it. It's like the Playbridge Crawler.
You got to spend a CP on the strat, then a reroll.
Then you reroll the number of shots. You're already in.
Let's make a bad situation a lot worse, because now we can't flash out Frank.
But if you rolled 6 shots, you could have killed like 2 guys.
Oh, man. So there's Timothy's question. Yeah, maybe it might have been bugged, but I just didn't see any other ones up there. So sorry about that. Do you think they will change the super heavy detachment CP cost for knight armies? 6 CP tax to play pure knights seems quite bad. It's possible. What they might do is they might have you have to build a particular knight. Like if you run the Preceptor, you get a discount if you run a certain number of armigers, something like that. Or if you run a knight detachment, if you have like one of each type, you'll get
that seems like something they would do in the Codex to me more than
a
little supplement, but maybe.
Maybe that'll be a teaser and test it out.
Because I will say, as real as the Majoras are, most of the other knights are still terrible.
Yeah. Well, it's because the Majoras have better weapons, they have better defense. And they're like hardly any more expensive.
The fact they just have 5 Impulse in combat really changes the math. Because that was how you beat knights, you just charge them for most factions.
Yeah. You don't have an Impulse in combat, it's done.
Here Here's a Thunderhammer. Take 40 damage. It's probably more balanced this way, but also Knights are very hard to kill now, which as they should be.
What's the next army you're looking forward to getting refreshed? I would love to see Tal get refreshed. It looks like Admech.
I'm very excited for the Dark Eldar coming out in like a week or two. Or whenever that happens. I'm really hungry, Seeks.
What are you feeling? Snacks?
No, I'm feeling lunch. I haven't had lunch yet. I had like some food today.
I had some apple slices.
Apple slices.
Tied myself over.
Tide? Green tide?
Green tide.
Green tide. Like these poxwalkers. I don't know if you guys can see it, but these poxwalkers are green. They're like green plastic. They're easy to build stuff.
I bet the Poxwalkers beat the Kroot in combat.
My poxwalkers slap John's Wormagons in combat. Like, down.
Is it worth to put the Melta sponsors on Lehman Russ Tank Commander with Demolishers? 50-point upgrade? John Lennon does believe it is worth it.
I would go for it too, personally. This meta is definitely the meta where you want that stuff. I don't think it's always worth it.
No. If it was a horde meta, absolutely not.
But right now, it's all Melta takes you very far these days.
Yeah, and once it got that increase to its stats, but no points increase, it became a much better weapon.
Yeah, it got better stats, no points increase, and the types of units in the game that are doing really well right now are also things that are vulnerable to Melta.
Yep. I gotta just cut out the little shoulder pads, and these Kroot are done.
Done. D-U-N.
What do you guys think of the new Bellacore? Do you think his rules would be on par with, say, a Keeper?
I don't think he would be used the same way a Keeper would be used, but I imagine he'll get similar stats to like a Keeper, a Bloodthirster, a Lord Change, one of those things. He's got that size of a model, and that's typically how they go with that. But he'll have his own unique rules, I'm sure. Like he's undivided.
I think he'll get like the Mortarian treatment, where he just gets a whole bunch of extra rules.
You think he's gonna be a super Lord of War person?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, he
Based
might
on
be.
the size of the model,
Yeah, he might be.
frankly. He's definitely not going to be a 9-wound Demon Prince.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But I feel like he'd be like an 18 wounds.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, is he going to be an 18-wound Lord of War, or is he going to be a 16-wound like HQ Bloodthirster? That's what I'm not sure.
I feel like with the epicness of the model, they'll probably go for...
They definitely could, because
Yeah.
that would give like a real proper Supreme Commander to demons.
To demons, yeah. I think that's what they're doing. I think that's why they chose him, really.
Yeah. Because you don't want to have 4 Supreme Commanders.
No.
Fate Weaver, the true commander.
Fate Weaver died to Farsight, the one true Supreme Commander.
Can you get out of here?
I hate that I have to run Farsight just to get double Monka, because he does nothing.
He's great.
And he's 130 points. It's just like 20 more points and I get a sickly
He
Giant
killed like
Commander.
3 Obliterators when Mark used them.
He killed the Hellhound. And that was it.
That's important. You gotta kill hounds.
Oh no, he didn't kill the Hellhound. He killed the Chimera in combat.
Also important.
And he didn't die to the Vindicare. That was what he did that whole game.
That's if he died to the Vindicare, cut him. You know, like that's you're off the team, bud. Sorry. There's like a you must be this tall stipulation to be on the Iron War team. Cannot be killed by Vindicares.
The Vindicare.
No.
I'm gonna play the Vindicare. He's gonna kill everything. He's just gonna go crazy.
I really hope you do it. I really hope it's against John.
John runs this precious.
You could run the Vindicare in your Imperial army and then summon the Chaos army and then basically have Vindicare in the Chaos list.
Matt O with a $20 super chat. Going to get back to the Solo Exorcist train, Nick. Thank you so much for that super chat, Matt O. And he actually is. The list he submitted for his Bloody Rose Sisters has the Solo Exorcist.
Solo Exorcist is where it's at. That's because sometimes it's a while we stand, and like I said, you got to be building that into your list these days, unless you have something better to do, which you don't. So it's your while we stand, along with Triumph, and in my case, it's 10 Zephyr, which I don't love, but a lot of times I don't actually have to use Zephyr. I can just scare people with them, and if I only get 10 out of it, I only get 10 out of it. It shoots long range, so right now the whole army operates at 24 inches, except for the Exorcist. You can spend 2 CP to make the Retributors operate at 36, but sometimes you don't want to spend 2 CP to solve a problem, so have an Exorcist. That's really all it does.
Damage.
I mean, it shoots. It's got good damage. Like that's why. That's the first. If you didn't do good damage, you're not even.
What you're really doing is you're bringing the Triumph as well, and then you help defend the Exorcist with the Triumph. It just sits in the corner back there all game.
Are you making fun of me right now?
Big Nut Body style.
That is the corners is how you win. We were watching some weird wrestling stuff with Mark and Charlie last night.
To be clear, I wasn't.
And then I was just dragged along. I was not like that wasn't the plan. There was free food. That's what got me. So, it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. But a lot of professional wrestling is hiding in the corner. That is what I learned.
So you're already halfway there.
I'm basically a professional wrestler. Wrestled in high school.
What's the significance of the flamingo pool ring on the arm of the team jerseys? Nick?
All right. For years and years, the Art of War did the daily paint streams. And it used to be daily, Monday through Friday.
Nick and I.
And we would just grind it, me and Siegs, in my bedroom because,
Well, my office, technically.
Yes, your bedroom, my bedroom, your office, all the same. So grinding the good fight out here. And you know what? We needed some jams to listen to and while we were grinding through the paint stream. So we put up the TV because it is my bedroom. And we started YouTubing some playlists that were stream friendly. And we found one with the Flamingo. And we listened to it every day for the better part of a year, for 2 hours every single day. And
Nick still listens to it.
I still do every day on that. It's like it's got the beats. It's a good playlist. So since then, we had to pay tribute to the Flamingo gods, and now we have flamingos on our sleeves. So no matter how large we get, we will always remember our humble beginnings.
Also, Nick doesn't believe that flamingos can fly.
They don't. That's not a belief. This isn't a matter of religion. This is
evidence, though. Importantly, the evidence here is we went to Google, clicked on images of flamingos, and he didn't see any in the fly.
Right. If you Google the word flamingo, then do it right now on your computer, your phone, whatever you're watching this on. You Google the word flamingo. Don't type anything else, just flamingo, and then press images. And you will see hundreds of images of flamingos, because that's what Google does. It's magical. And not a single flamingo will be flying, right? It would be a flamingo standing with 1 foot in the water. It would be like a flamingo on the ground. Flamingos doing this on the ground. Not flamingos soaring through the air. Now, just for confirmation bias testing here, let's do the word eagle. And if you type the word eagle into Google and press images, you get hundreds of pictures of eagles soaring through the air, catching fish in their mouths as they glide and swoop and steep and not, those fly. Flamingos, they don't fly. Very simple. Science. Caesar's like, I have evidence flamingos fly. And I'm like, where? Show me your facts. Google.
Then Nick's dad came in with
anecdotes. Anecdotes. You can't use anecdotes in the court of flamingos.
In your opinion, what armies do not actually need a new codex for 9th edition? Sisters would be the closest one. It's a really, really, really good book.
Sisters are solid. Yeah. They would still like one. Tyranids would also like one, but honestly, Tyranids are pretty solid right now, too. But they're riding the back of Forge World.
Yeah, but a lot of their stuff, the codex itself is...
Yeah, the codex itself is trash, but Forge World can do that. And they have good strats. It's one word is good.
Yeah, and Kraken is
good. Psychic powers. Kraken's amazing. Kraken's always amazing.
But elsewhere, they need help.
Yeah. Like, you might not know this, but Tyranids actually have like 40 units in that codex.
Even though you see 4 of them.
You see 4 of them.
Ashley said she played her first ever event recently and brought the solo exorcist since didn't have enough retributors yet, and it was awful and disappointing.
Thank you for sharing your story, Ashley. I appreciate you.
Pour one out for the solo exorcist.
I've never been impressed with my solo exorcist. I think we're setting the bar too high. But I've never been like, man, you're terrible.
It's a great while we stand.
It's a great one. It's like the Fates game right
Played Dark Angel Terminator Span for the first time in the weekend and lost 37-95 as Black Templars. What's the game plan against these nasties?
With what faction?
Black Templars.
Like what faction against them?
Dark Angels, the Terminators.
So how did he beat Black Templars?
No, how
does he beat Dark Angels?
Yeah.
That's harder.
Yeah, it is.
That's really a John Lennon question. It's hard because you're both playing Space Marines, right? So you start from the same exact toolkit. Let's focus on the strengths and weaknesses, the differences between you. Dark Angels have better Terminators. Dark Angels shoot way harder. Pretty simple stuff. Like Templars have the 5-up versus Mortals, which is not negligible, but in this match it really is. They have Devout Push, which is an amazing rule to help you get into close combat and push point swings. But Dark Angels can turn off your OPSEC with Psychic Powers, which you can block. And don't care if you pile into them. They really just don't. So I think your number one strategy with Black Templars is basically we can get into combat with you. We Devout Push, we advance and charge, we can just get there, and we're playing Space Marine stats, and once we get there, we kill you. And Dark Angels like, actually, we're Dark Angels, so once you get here, we still don't care, and then we kill you. And they're like, oh, no, we don't like that. So I don't know what the answer to that crux issue is, but that step one is identify the problem, right? So to be continued, I suppose. I'm sorry, that was more helpful. Son of the worm.
Really what you need to do with Black Temple, you're not trying to engage the Terminator brick. You're trying to play around it, use your speed to get around the edges of the board and engage other parts of their army.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what you need to do. Obviously, that's all contextual based on the game that you're playing, but that is what coaching's for.
Yeah, you can't fight the Terminator break. That's the first thing you have to come to terms with. And the question is how you fight everything else then.
Yeah, if your only answer to things is killing them, you're going to be disappointed when the Dark Angels don't die. Per Google, they prefer to fly with a cloudless sky and favorable tailwinds. They can travel approximately 60 kilometers, 337 miles, in one night at about 50 to 60 kilometers per hour, or 31 to 37 miles per hour.
That
is science.
Is not accurate.
That's science.
No. That is somebody's attempt to misinterpret my instructions. I specifically instructed them to press Google Images and see what sort of images they view. You know why? Because a picture speaks 1,000 words, and you just approximately spoke 27, 30 at me, something like that. And I was talking about hundreds of pictures. So we're talking about hundreds of thousands of words claiming that flamingos don't fly versus your 30 words that flamingos fly. It's the internet. You can find something that backs up your case no matter what it is, but it's the multitude, the magnitude of defense. My Google image search is hundreds of thousands of texts in picture form.
That's actually, because I haven't done it myself.
Since
the channel's grown about 10K subs, did you apply to get the codexes earlier?
Yeah, we did. Hopefully we get approved soon.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
But we did apply.
We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much for subscribing. That's how we got this green screen, Kroot man.
And Nick really wanted the green screen, Kroot man.
I did.
Let's just switch for a little while.
I'm going to switch it up. But favorite. Oh.
Oh, the daddy's home.
Yeah.
Where's Azurman? Is he under there? Where'd you go, Azurman?
All right, so type in Flamingos. I want to.
Flamingos.
Just press images.
There we go. Look at this.
Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
There they are. Right there. Fourth row.
Okay, fourth row. You found
an entire flock.
No. You found. I found.
Look at that.
30 pictures of flamingos not flying to your one picture of flamingos flying.
But there's so many flamingos in that picture. That's a lot. But
it's one doctored picture. That's the point. It's all about your sources. I need more pictures.
This is coming from the Guardian, okay? A not so well respected newspaper in the United Kingdom. All right. Nick, in a Contemptor Dreadnought Death Guard list, what secondaries do you normally take?
While we stand, we fight. I built that into my list. I think that's been the moral of today's story.
Just while we stand, every game.
Every game. So we took while we stand. More often than not, I will take Spread the Sickness. I don't have to. Like sometimes you do take banners instead. I've never taken Scramblers. I take Domination more often than not just in the obvious Domination missions, because Death Guard do just kind of walk up the table and say, screw you. I take Psychic Ritual a lot in my list. Not a lot, but if they don't have a deny,
but a lot.
And I'll just take it.
A lot.
I'll just walk into the middle, cast Psychic Ritual. I didn't take it versus Knights.
Mental Interrogation?
Didn't take it versus Black Templars. because they got some stuff.
They got some denies.
Um,
Grey Knights?
I wouldn't take it versus Grey Knights, but there are games I would take it versus White Scars. I would. Mission specific secondaries, I actually take a lot more seriously with Death Guard because you are tough enough to again just freaking stand there. So that kind of stuff I look at. But I want to do all. I hate killing ones. I only take in the ranks as the only killing one or bring it down, and that's only if you just tell me based on what your list is that I should take that. I really don't like grinding down with Death Guard. Every time I take it, I'm sad.
Because it's so swingy.
Yeah,
Especially if you don't have bottom of the turn.
and also like Death Guard. You don't have much in the way of screens, except pop blockers and solo spawn and things like that. And you do actually have to throw them away, which means grinding down doesn't really work. You'll get it for a couple turns, but getting more than 6 or 9 is very hard. 6 or 9 is an okay score, but if we can do better, we can do better.
Next favorite, the Talon, yes indeed, the Supremacy Armor.
Why did we do that? Can we put that back?
Why do you think there's a cap on the number of warlord traits and relics you can take?
I think the cap should be 1 personally for warlord traits, and then relics I'm okay with like 2 or 3. But I don't know. The cap is there for game balance and just reasons. Like kind of more of a philosophical question, really. I'm not the one to answer that.
Yeah, I think they want people to have enough little tools to make the army feel unique, but they don't want them to go overboard and get every tool.
Yeah. And it's interesting. Like, a lot of the armies have imbalanced relics and warlord traits, but all the newer armies have good relics and warlord traits. So hopefully that the new styles, everyone just gets good rules and you can choose which ones you want to play with.
Yeah. But in 8th edition, there was a real imbalance between relics and warlord traits across the game.
Yeah, some armies had great ones, some armies had terrible ones. Now it's just real life.
Yep.
Okay. Alright. We have based all the box walkers. Now it's got to be 3 o'clock, right, Siegs?
No, we got 20 minutes.
Oh my god. Alright, I've never built so quickly. This is new paint stream. This is new town art.
It's not the easy to it's not the easy to build models.
I need a wash. That's what I haven't been doing. I haven't been
Yeah,
washing.
we've been washing.
I need a wash. Every good paint stream starts with a wash. I'm sorry. I robbed you of that experience today. I am going to wash these
These hounds. They're hounds.
They are cute. They are cute.
They're smiling. Did the Google image about 30 down have some flamingos flying in Florida? It did, indeed, but Nick was a non-believer.
It's not a matter of belief. Like I said, you can find anything on the internet to support what your claim, whatever it is. No matter if you're talking about the Earth being flat or the sun being made of ice balls, whatever it is, I'm sure you can back it up with enough research. But let's look at the multitude of research that says flamingos don't fly. The first 21 images.
Now, to be fair, Nick thinks Google Images is a research tool.
Yes. It is far much. It is far less effort than reading.
Efforts in it.
And pictures speak 1,000 words, so I think they're pretty. What's the word, transitive? So we're gonna go with that.
What do you think about Daredeo dreads?
I think stupid Fortran is stupid. That's my honest opinion on that.
Any list you like from the Greek Hammer event so far?
I haven't looked at the Greek camera about too much. Oh, that's why you're saying getting everywhere this thing is broken. See, it's just cracks.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
It's like take a forklift to a mini forklift.
I don't know.
Just cut through. But we have a 19-pound or 19.99 super chat from Matt. Thank you so much. Thoughts on adding Mortal Wounds to Sisters? I've been adding a Ethereal Stern for the 7-up 6d6 against Chaos, but I play against a lot of Chaos in my area, so what may be better options?
These are better options.
Nick definitely doesn't know what a Ethereal Stern does.
I don't. But I can tell you Mortal Wounds and Sisters, and Chaos is the faction you want to use it against. So if that's your thing, take Canonnesses. Just give them Braziers. It's 10-point upgrade. Does D3 Mortal Wounds, which is in the movement phase, or it's in the shooting phase, but it doesn't have to. It's not firing guns, so you can shoot it into combat and stuff. But you just roll 2 up and you do 3 mortals, but if the guy is, I forget if it's Chaos or Demon. I think it's Demon, but a lot of Chaos is made of demons these days. Then you just roll your 2 up and hit D6 mortal wounds. So that's really awesome. You can take a couple of those. That's just 2d6 mortal wounds and like Mortarion while he's crashing into you. That helps a lot. I believe you can select what unit with it. So you can snipe characters like demon characters. Just get that out of here. I feel like doing 2d6 mortals to the Load Change or Magnus, that would normally be quite the bear to bring down. Just going to do that. If you're going to do this, Detect Against Chaos, I would recommend in that version also going with Draxus. Because of all the uses we talked about earlier, the fight lasts most importantly. She opens up Psychic Ritual, that kind of stuff. But she's just another smite. So now you have 2 braziers and a smite to like do a little smite factory cut to everything. It's not great, but it's something your list can do now, right? So like that's something to consider. And if you're already going to take a pair of canonesses, which is not a bad thing to just take in Sisters, paying 20 points for some braziers, taking Draxus, not a bad follow-up.
Thanks so much for that super chat. Nick, are you going to look up what a Furial Stern does?
No.
Okay.
We already established our role, Siegs. You are the research guy. If you want research, I'm just going to Google image ethereal stern.
Any upcoming events for you, Nick?
Yes. I am going to Texas next week, or actually in 4 days.
Next week, though.
Next week. In 4 days, I'll be going to Texas to play in the Clutch City GT, which is like a 60 or 70-ish person. There's like 200 people on sign-up sheet, or 200 people on the theoretical sign-up sheet, but only 60 or 70 have actually signed up. Interesting. But, yeah. We're going to go there. We're going to play the Death Guard. These Death Guard right here that I'm working on, we're going to have to get these painted real quick. That's what the patented wash technique is for, by the way.
Multi-wash.
Multi-wash. And then we're gonna win the tournament. And the prize for Best General, which is the one I'm gunning for, is a super cool chain axe. So I'm going to get that. That's going to be
Are
good.
you going to be able to bring it back?
Maybe not.
That was the thing about the LVO prizes. I got a gigantic bolter, one of the Primaris bolters. And I'm like, Reese, I can't bring this back. He's like, oh, I guess I'll hold on to it.
Is that just still...
Yeah, so Reese has it somewhere.
Great. How did you get him to ship it to you?
There's going to be a lot. It was a gigantic piece of resin.
I mean, it's worth it.
What Big Bear said he would print one out for me.
That's not the same. That's the one. That is the one that you got for winning LVO. Oh, you were so Siegs.
I got my check, though. That was the most important.
I know.
That took a while to get.
I enjoy the sentimentals more than you.
If it was something other than a bolter.
The bolters aren't lame. One time I flew back from, I think it was LVO, maybe it was something else, with the chainsword that they give you for winning that Games Workshop chainsword.
Yeah.
And I got stopped at security because the chainsword is sharp enough to legally be deemed a weapon. So I had a giant knife in my bag. And they opened it up, and then they were like, I was like, it's a trophy. I promise I won't hit anyone with it. And then they let me go.
I've had to go through the airport with multiple of those.
You didn't get stopped?
No.
Don't actually wonder.
Any recommendations, sponsors on where to get paints? Yes, indeed. Nick, tell us about the sponsors.
We got the Army Painter. The Army Painter is our wonderful paint sponsor. They are a great company, honestly. Their paints are awesome. I use them on stream all the time. They're not, they give you more paint per dollar than like Games Workshop and stuff. So if you paint thousands of models like we do, paint per dollar is pretty cool. But they're also just a really great company. Like when COVID started happening, they stopped production on paint and transformed it into production of hand sanitizer. And they just gave it all away to kids in schools and stuff. Like that's the kind of company I want to support. So they've also done right by me at every opportunity. So highly recommend. And their products are friggin' amazing.
They also have a brilliant wet palette that Nick should be using, but refuses to.
I was using glue. You want to put glue in the wet palette?
No.
Exactly. But yes, they have a beautiful wet palette. John used it. It was mine.
Right.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, Tally.
Tally bananas?
Yes.
What is that? Thought you retired, Nick?
I am retired.
Not yet. Whose idea is it to have that Tau battle sit in the backgrounds? Nick's.
No, what kind of question? Who mean Siegs? Who do you think put the Tau battles in the bathroom? The one who's in charge of the technology. Who out of me and Siegs is the one in charge of the technology?
Nick.
Yes,
He's tried.
If it was me, then we would still have flamingos. Which maybe we should. I like
You can get Warner to do an artwork piece.
Warner's going to design a
Okay,
flamingo,
Flamingos.
100%.
What do you think of running squads of Wolfguard with jump packs, kitting them out with combi meltas?
I
Storm
think you mispronounced Lightning Claw in Storm Shield.
Shield.
Yeah, Goblin Meltas are like just not. You get so close that you fire them, you might do some good damage, but then your unit is going to get charged or killed in some variety. You get way more consistency, and it's cheaper to run Lightning Claws. It's a little less range, I guess, because you have to charge instead of just be within 12. But realistically, just do that. Like, that's okay. Take an extra turn, get in combat, kill stuff properly. Your space wheels, not try to shoot people.
What's the best way to find GTs or other events? You need a large list to find the ones that fit your schedule close enough. Is there a place where they're aggregated? What do you use? There are a couple places that you can find them. BCP is one of them. That's the most common one in the United States. But in Australia, they use Down Under Parents, and they are partnering with BCP to do all sorts of stuff. Then there's also in the UK and Europe, they typically use Tourney Keeper.
The ITC, if you go to Frontline Gaming's website, or ITC, I believe, they have a list of all tournaments that are in the ITC, which isn't all the tournaments in the world, but it is there's a lot of them.
The ones that are registered to get points.
To get points for the ITC, yeah. So you can check those out. If you have local communities, make friends. Honestly, I don't look at any of these websites. I'm in a bit of a unique position compared to most people, but I really don't. You just make friends, and that's really why you should be playing this hobby as well, to go to tournaments, make friends, and then check on local stores and local things and near you to see what events are happening, and really embrace the social aspect of the game.
If you use Facebook too and you start adding 40K events, you'll just get tons of recommendations for all the ones that are nearby.
Like if you just become a member of Competitive 40K, the Facebook group, everyone who runs an event will post a thing there, and then you'll have a notification every time there's an event there. Little stuff like that.
Do you think the best Death Guard list has one or two contemptors? Nick has gone back and forth.
I go back and forth on that every single day. I am running two in my list, but I think I made a very specific choice for the terrain format we're playing in, because they did post pictures of the terrain format. In a heavier, more congested format, I think I'd go down to one. And that's try to do the research on your tournament. And by research, I mean Google Images.
But also the potential of 20-man rack units had you nervous too.
Oh, yeah. They're allowing 20-man rack units at 8 points each for profit to flesh and all that jazz. And I have played against it with my Death Guard, and I won. Or actually, no, I lost. I could have won that game, but I did not. But my experience has taught me that 2 Dreadnoughts are pretty integral to actually clearing that many models.
What's your favorite Necron Mancer sculpt, ignoring the rules? I really like the Psychomancer a lot. It's very, very cool, and I'm still waiting to get my hands on one. They sold out immediately, and Warfire is trying to get us another one.
Yeah, Mancers, yeah, Psychos, yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys selling the shirts you're wearing?
We are not. These are our team shirts for our Art of War ITC team. We will also be selling shirts soon. We're getting the shirts designed for general public sales things. And then you can buy them from our website and then wear them, and that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so we're going to have a whole merch store set up pretty soon, within like the next month or so, I would say.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. As soon as it's active, we will definitely let you know, of course. And we'll probably start just showing them off on stream.
Hell yeah.
All right. I think that is good. You're all good, Mr. Nick?
I've been good.
What do we have coming
crushed
up?
the building. What do we got coming up after this? We got Meta Monday in the Word. Everyone's got to know about the meta. It's Monday. It's peanut butter and jelly time. We got an Art of War podcast coming up. I'm going to actually interview Jamie Pierce about Space Wolves.
Paris.
I can't get it right. I've read 3 different times I pronounced the name incorrectly.
One of my good friends.
He is. So, Jamie Paris. And his Space Wolves. If you want Space Wolves, we're going to show you how it's done. We got lots of stream games coming up on the YouTube channel tomorrow. I am playing a subscriber match. I'm playing Demons featuring all the monsters. Magnus Morty, you know there's going to be a Lord of Change in there. All the good stuff versus John Lennon's White Scars. Siegs is going to be trying out these Kroot things versus my sisters.
Yep, going to be playing Tau versus the sisters on Thursday.
And then later on in the War Room on Thursday evening, I'm going to be doing my tournament-ready Death Guard list versus John's Dark Angels to put some pedal to the metal and see if we can get it done.
Two of the best armies in the game going head-to-head in the War Room.